There is a huge difference between compatibility and chemistry that you have with someone, but that difference will not change how you look at a person. It will simply help you analyze whether your feelings for this person, will amount to something or not. Let's say you met a person a week ago and you have been talking to this person quite a lot and you enjoy having conversations with them in the sense that they make you feel heard, or maybe you have some common interests to talk about, or it doesn't even matter what the reason behind it is, you're just attracted to them and attracted to their company. Now you are obviously developing feelings for this person, and you ask yourself a very simple question: what do they like me back? Now, this question is a question that doesn't necessarily have to be answered. It can be left unanswered. But the question that does need to be answered is, if you are genuinely developing feelings for this person and you're developing feelings in such a way that you're starting to imagine a future with said person, then is that really practical and is that really feasible? See, the thing is, as humans, we are beings that get attached very fast. We see someone, we like the feeling they give us, and we like the validation we receive from them, and immediately we're chasing after that over and over and over again. There's nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to that. Every single human does that. Everyone has that urge of that desperate need to have that one significant other. There's nothing wrong with that per se. And to accept the fact that yes, sometimes I will develop feelings for a person, even if it's not rational, even if it's not practical. Understanding that is important because while yes, you are in control of your emotions, sometimes you're not, and you cannot keep on repressing those emotions. You have to accept that yes, I like this person. The first step is acceptance that you actually like the person. But there's a difference. Sometimes we will confuse liking a person for liking a person's company and liking what a person is to you. I could really, really like person X, or I could really, really like how I feel around person X, in the sense that when I am around person X, when I am conversing with person X, when person X is my company, I feel good. But looking at person X themselves, are there qualities that I actually like? There is a difference between liking someone and simply liking what that person is to you. Liking someone constitutes of liking a lot of things about them, their small habits, their interests, their a lot of stuff essentially, not just the fact that I feel comfortable around this person, I feel good talking to this person. Notice how all these qualities are in relevance to you. You need to look at this person as a standalone person and see them without attachment to yourself, and see them in that light, and try to understand that even then will you like them. Even then, when you want to listen to them yapping about their interests for hours straight, would you like that? Not just as your company, but also for them and for who they are. Once you're able to decide whether you actually truly like the person or you like what the person is to you, you'll move on to the second step. That is deciphering compatibility. This is incredibly important. In today's time and age, you will see so many teenagers getting into relationships really quickly with people they barely know. This has become a problem because we feel attraction And that is okay. Like I said before, it's fine to feel attraction. You cannot control that attraction. In fact, it's not necessary for you to even feel, what I'm saying is that you don't have to have this sort of barrier. You shouldn't be preventing yourself to feel attracted to someone from feeling attracted to someone. No, you should be okay and accepting of the fact that you are attracted to someone. However, once you decide whether you actually like them or not, you cannot get into a relationship with them unless both of you have accepted that yes, this relationship will be short lived and is not something we are going into very seriously. If it is a relationship that you are going into seriously, there are multiple factors which you need to consider that you probably don't know about each other, especially talking about people you do not know for a very long time. And even if you have known the person for 3 years, 4 years, it depends on the kinds of situations that you have been in with this person. Now, for example, I met person X 4 weeks ago, one month ago. And ever since that month, me and person X have talked a lot. We have talked about our shared interests, our shared hatreds towards certain things. We've talked about our pasts, in the sense our exes or our family situations or things that make us sad or things that make us happy. We've talked about all of these things, right? But now, just talking about these things does not truly tell you how a person will react to these things when they're actually happening. How would this person react if tomorrow something horrible happened and you weren't able to talk to them? If tomorrow something happened due to which there is some sort of irregularity in the way you two are conversing, in the way you two are interacting with each other during tough times, you need to know how a person will behave in those tough times. Another thing, your fundamental beliefs and your fundamental values need to align. It can't just be that, okay, I like listening to this kind of music and they like listening to this kind of music. Boom, we're compatible. That's not how it works. Two people can have incredibly different preferences when it comes to music taste, the kind of movies they watch, the kind of shows they watch, but their compatibility can still be very high depending on the fact that their fundamental values and beliefs are the same. This includes things like religion, this includes things like politics, this includes things like social aspects and how you think of those things, what kind of morals and values do you believe in. These things matter significantly in the longer run. And these things are things that I believe everyone should discuss with somebody who they think are a potential partner for them. Now, we've talked about compatibility in the sense of how a person would react through harder situations or in different situations, and compatibility in the sense that whether your fundamental values and morals and beliefs align or not. Now, these two aspects are incredibly important for compatibility. And this is where you understand there's a difference between chemistry and compatibility. I have chemistry with a lot of people in the sense that I am able to have good conversations, I have similar interests, I am able to feel good around many people. However, I might not be truly compatible with them in the sense that I do not know them well enough to know how they would react in certain situations. Maybe some of our fundamental beliefs do not match up, whether they're about religion or politics, and these things matter. In the longer run, compatibility will keep your relationship going, while chemistry will probably not. And chemistry arises with compatibility. But it's very important to remember that every single person you have chemistry with is not going to be compatible with you. and every single person that you're compatible with is not going to have chemistry with you. Just because somebody's fundamental morals and beliefs align with yours doesn't mean that you and that other person could live life perfectly together. No, that's not how it is. Because each and every one of us are incredibly unique, incredibly different creatures. We have so many distinct things about ourselves that you cannot truly put them into perspective, into comparison, based on just the factors that I stated right now. Understanding how you truly feel about a person and whether this person could be your future partner or not depends a lot on spending more and more time with them and truly to fully doing a self-assessment, truly asking yourself that will my life actually change for the better or not if I am with this person. And if the answer to that question is anything but yes, I recommend that you highly reconsider that relationship, especially as a teenager. If we enter relationships that are one, not truly fruitful to us, two, more complicated than they are beneficial, three, more likely to not end up well and not be forever or long lasting, and four, are too much or too high in intensity some for people like us who are still young and developing to handle. Entering these kinds of relationship can be highly detrimental to your mental health, and overall your output, whether it's your academic output, your extracurricular output, or whatever it is that you're doing. As a teenager, you need to learn to focus on yourself before focusing on anyone else. And this becomes very hard because we, as people, truly want that one significant other. The idea of romance has been so aggressively romanticized in media to the point where we see everyone wanting a person for themselves. This entire phenomenon is insane. This video is not just a reminder to teenagers, it's a reminder to myself because I do this too. I meet someone, I really start liking them, and I start imagining a future with them, even when I don't know whether me and this person are compatible or not. This distinction between compatibility and chemistry, and this distinction between understanding whether a person is truly meant for you or not, is very important because once you start viewing things with that lens, you will start realizing that all of those micro crushes you've had have been nothing but a very small little splurge or a uh, small little burst of validation in your brain that you have craved, and that's all they've ever been. It's never really been more than that. It's never had compatibility or chemistry. And it's not just about another person, it's about looking at yourself too. You need to know yourself very well in order for you to actually know another person very well. This becomes hard at a young age where we don't really know how we are, what we're going to become. And most importantly, I would say that it's up to you. It's up to you what decisions you make. Of course, if you want to try dating this person, then go ahead. No one is stopping you. You're allowed to make choices, and you're allowed to have those choices be wrong choices. You're allowed to make good decisions, you're allowed to make bad decisions. As humans, we keep pressuring ourselves that, oh, we must calculate everything, we must take everything into consideration. But no, humans are naturally very impulsive creatures. We love our instinct, our gut feeling, and we often like to go with it, even when there is a chance that it might be wrong. Do not punish yourself for being human. Do not punish yourself for feeling emotions. I like a person, and yes, maybe person X does not like me back. And that's okay. If person X was to like me back, then that's also okay. What matters is that I felt this emotion and that I'm proud of myself for feeling this emotion, accepting this emotion, and then maybe or maybe not expressing it, but however, you felt something. The thing is, in today's world where it is so cool to not feel, to be nonchalant, it's important to remind yourself that having human emotion is truly one of the best possible qualities ever. It gives you more joy, it gives you experiences that no other thing could bring about. Whether you are crying over a boy at 2 a.m. in your bathroom, or whether you're crying over a girl at 2 a.m. in your bathroom, or whether you're crying over the silly little rom com you were watching, or you're crying over the fact that you have no one to cry over, remind yourself that you're still feeling. Never belittle yourself for feeling things because that is a wonderful experience in itself. It is an integral part of the human experience to feel things. Of course, now psychopaths exist, and that's that. But still, it's important to remind yourself, like I said before, we are human. We are going to make impulsive mistakes. But if you want to try to lessen that, then of course, search for compatibility within the person that you're seeking. Try to understand them better rather than understanding what they are to you better. First, understand yourself. See whether your life goals and their life goals are compatible. And those things matter. They matter a lot if you're looking for something long term. Do not push yourself too fast into a relationship that might as well end up ruining your life. Because you should know your worth, your value, and what you want. Once you truly understand what you want, there is nothing stopping you from getting it because you will stop making choices that are not beneficial to what you want. Whether subconsciously, whether consciously, you will have a control over your choices once you truly decide what you want and how you want it to be. Do not rush into relationships. Be a mindful person. Understand your emotions and another person's emotions. Understand compatibility, and you shall be perfectly okay.